Hello students, I hope you all have your supplies and you're ready to start doing our watercolor unit. If you open the envelope, you're going to find a few different things. We have our watercolor set we'll be using, and then you have two kinds of paper. The one kind of paper is really thin and flimsy. This is the paper that you're going to be using to do your sketches or your drawings on. The other paper is stiffer and thicker. You'll notice some of the pieces have a rough edge. It's a lot thicker than the other paper, and if you feel it, it has a bumpy texture. This is the paper we're using for watercolor. We're going to do 4 watercolor paintings, and you have 4 pieces of paper. So what do you do if you mess up? Like you do your painting and you look at it and go, wow, this is really ugly. Just let it dry, tape it down so it dries flat, and then you can flip it over and use the other side. Now because you only have enough paper for 1 piece per assignment, it's really important that you sketch out your idea first on your drawing paper. So here's a piece of drawing paper. You can see it's a little bit smaller than the watercolor paper, and that's okay because we'll be taping down the edges. So you're going to do your sketches on the thinner paper first. After you're done with your sketch, you can put it underneath your watercolor paper, hold it up to a window, and then you can just trace from your sketch onto your watercolor paper. Okay, let's talk about our first assignment. I'm so excited. I love this assignment. We're going to do, I call it a stained glass, and this is where we're going to create the look of separate pieces of glass. Now the reason for doing this is because it's really hard to control the smoothness of watercolor paint. And the best way to control it is to start small. So you're going to take big areas. You might have an object with a big area around it, and you want to divide those into smaller pieces. Okay, now you're not doing this on your watercolor paper, you're going to do this on your sketch paper. So here I have the sketched version of this. And as I look at this, I'm noticing that this piece right here goes all the way around. This is way too big. So I can make this smaller by maybe separating it into some smaller wing shapes. And that way it's divided up into smaller pieces, and then I can just pull lines up from there, and that's dividing it even more. You shouldn't have anything that's bigger than about like 2 or 3 inches maximum for each of your shapes in your drawing. So the assignment this week is to just do the sketch. Don't do the sketch and then jump into the painting. You'll get instructions for the painting later. I would like you to photograph this and upload it in Canvas. And then before you start your painting, I want you to look at the comment section for the assignment. You'll see that I have comments for you. I might say, oh, you made that one area too big, or you have too many small areas, maybe erase a few lines. So I will have some suggestions for you before you get started that will help keep the assignment easier and funner for you. I don't want anybody to get frustrated with it. Okay, so students often ask me, well, what should I draw? You can draw a thing, a person. Here I have an animal. You can do a place. You could do a landscape. You could do an abstract design. If you want to just do circles and lines, that's perfect. You can do that for this assignment. Well, have fun doing your drawing, and please email me if you have any questions.